All right. So to the visual artist out there, to the creative out there, to that person who has been in the industry and it seems like you're not getting the opportunities you deserve. It seems like you're not ever going to sell. You're just selling one work every year. In fact, some people are not even selling any work any year. For the past 5 years, for the past 3 years, for the past 2 years, they've not sold. And it can feel sad. What I would just say is from my own experience is keep working on your craft. Don't give up. Don't give up. The arts industry will test you. It will try to break you because, art is loyal to people who are very committed to it. So, and currently we have so many people. It's like a crowd. There are so many crowd in the industry right now. So, I talk about art like a person, like a god, So art is trying to like filter. So even though you're very talented, it will try to break you, try to frustrate you. But if you can stay, if you can pass that test, if you can stay, you are going to, make it. And for my story, for example, like I said, I was earning 12,000 naira the first 3 years. I was earning 12,000 naira to write. It was more like a giveaway. In fact, that same person now has unfollowed me on Instagram. The person was telling me, oh, build this space together, blah blah blah. I tapped into that vision, but like every startup business, they deceive you. When it's time for you to make money, they push you away. But it's because money was never my own goal from the beginning. There was a vision, and when I started saying that, people would sideline you, people would try to use you if your father does not have name, if your father does not have money, if you don't have connection, even though you are talented, hardworking, committed, and all of those very amazing, good adjectives. It became my life's mission to make sure that in this industry, as I get platforms, as I enter spaces, I am going to carry along, that person, that Wasiu, that John, that Olawale, who does not have any connection but is very talented. It became my life mission, So I would just say that, and so I just kept working. I was not bothered about the pay. I was not bothered about the betrayal. I just kept working. I kept mastering my craft, and I became very good at it. Very good to the point that people were reaching out to me, people were referring me, and I feel like if you're not making sales, if you're not getting the opportunities you deserve, if you're not where you think you should be, maybe you need to just focus. Like I've said this before, focus on your craft. Make it so excellent that people cannot ignore it. Make it so good that people cannot ignore you. I wish you the best of luck.